let's kick it off with our lead story of the day regarding Joe Biden unveiling a plan on Wednesday to cancel $10,000 in student loans per borrower under $125,000, as well as $20,000 per borrower who paid college using Pell Grants. White House officials had been weighing the move for months before officially landing on the $10,000 figure. This is from CNN. That's a bunch of hocus pocus. We started talking about this, over a year ago, 18 months ago. We got video clips of them using the $10,000 figure. So this whole thing of like taking months to weigh which figure they're going to use, they've been on this $10,000 thing for quite some time, even since the presidential campaign. Other Democrats, though, Democratic lawmakers, have supported canceling up to $50,000 per borrower. Thank God he didn't go through that, because $50,000 compared to $10,000 in the long run is a lot of money. The $10,000, which we'll get to in a moment, is astronomical. It's like $300+ billion. Wait till we get to that one. Biden also decided to extend the pause on federal student loan repayment to January 2023, while borrowers with undergraduate loans can cap repayment at 5% of monthly income. Biden said on social media that the policies keep with his campaign promise to eliminate $10,000 of student debt per borrower and will give working and middle-class families breathing room. Honest to God, I was hoping this guy would forget that he even made a campaign promise, because the guy forgets his own damn name. So really hoping that he would have forgot this one, but clearly he didn't. So we missed the nail on that one. Nixing $10,000 of debt per borrower would cost, get this folks, you sitting down for this? $300 billion in 2022, and a total of $329 billion by 2031 if they renew this darn thing each and every year. And this was according to a nonpartisan analysis from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. Less than 32% of the funding would actually benefit Americans who are in the two lowest quartiles or quintiles, while 42% would benefit those earning more than $82,400 per year. Indeed, a report from the Brookings Institute observed that 1/3 of student debt is owed by the wealthiest 20% of households, while only 8% is owned by the bottom 20%, likely because graduate degrees are often necessary for the most lucrative professions. The policy may offer additional distortions as potential borrowers consider the possibility of future bailouts. Quote, if student loan debt forgiveness is ongoing, students might eventually reorganize their financing toward additional borrowing. This comes from the Wharton Economics School of Thought. A new survey from the CNBC shows that 59% of Americans are worried about student debt cancellation will make inflation worse. Well, if you're just handing out checks like they're hotcakes or getting rid of inflation, people have more money, thus more money can be in circulation. More people can maybe do certain things and make certain transactions. So you're inflating the economy in some way, shape, or form. So yeah, you would think it would increase a tad bit the cause of inflation from it. So there is some truth to that. Nixing student debt is particularly popular among the young. While 30% of overall respondents said that no cancellations should occur, about 19% of adults between 18 and 34 years old maintain such a position. The Biden administration's move has also been criticized by Lawrence Summers, who served as Treasury Secretary under President Bill Clinton and National Economic Council Director under President Barack Obama, who contended on Monday that funds for loan cancellation could be better utilized elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about this at length 18 months ago. Why am I responsible for somebody else's debt? I didn't choose to take out that debt. They chose to take out that debt. If they can't pay it off, how is that my fault or your fault? Does it suck for them? Yeah, but the problem is this. Where does it end? Why are we just going with student loan debt? Why are we not looking at mortgages? Why are we not looking at financing vehicles? That train of thought is up to the individual if they want to pay for something and borrow money of which they don't have money to pay for in the first place. So why are we responsible for footing the bill? He just got done paying out $3.9 billion for ITT Tech students' loans. Granted, some people are like, hey, you know what? They went through some fraudulent stuff. How is that the taxpayers' fault at the end of the day? Again, how is it our fault? It always comes down to us shelling out the money for other people's issues. This is saying, quote, worst idea be in continuation of the current moratorium that benefits among other highly paid surgeons, lawyers, and investment bankers, Summers said. If relief is to be given, it should not set a precedent. It should only be given for the first few $1,000s of debt and for those who genuinely are actually middle class incomes. Summers was a frequent skeptic of the Biden economic agenda despite his own left-wing tendencies, commented on social media that the potential loan cancellation is unreasonably generous, could contribute to higher levels of inflation and more colleges hiking their prices. Every dollar spent on student loan relief is a dollar that could have gone to support those who don't get the opportunity to go to college, Summers explained. Student loan debt relief is spending that raises demand and increases inflation. It consumes resources that could be better used helping those who did not. For whatever reason, having the chance to attend college, it will also tend to be inflationary by raising tuitions. Now, I'm not sure if I'm fully on board with that, because just because the government on this go around is going to pay off the tuition for those that had prior student loans would cause the demand for college to go up, as well as that would have the effect of those tuitions going up as well because the demand went up. I'm not sure if I'm fully on board with that. If they do extend it through 2031, then there's a possibility, I think, of that actually occurring. But I don't know if I'm fully on board with that idea of, well, because you're paying off somebody's student loans from a prior period in time of which they already graduated, you would have to make the assumption then that they're going to go back to college. And because there's a demand of them going back to college, colleges are going to raise their prices to go to that very college or those institutions. So we'll see about that one, but I do believe it's going to increase inflation. This led to a video clip here where White House reporters were questioning Biden, and rightfully so, on, well, what about the other people like me who paid off all my loans? I paid over $62,000 off in student loans in a year and a half. I worked like 3 jobs to be able to do that. I'm not banking on government handouts. I'm not banking on you as the Bald Brad Show viewers for handouts to pay off my student loans, of which I chose to take out. I signed the contract myself. You didn't sign that contract. Your friends didn't sign that contract. Your family members, other Americans didn't sign that contract. I signed that contract. I'm responsible for it. Nobody else. So he gets pushed on this, and just look at his response from this. It's so frustrating to watch this. It's so frustrating.
Mr. President, is this unfair to people who paid their student loans or chose not to take out loans?
Is it fair to people who, in fact, do not own multi-billion-dollar businesses if you want these guys to give them all a tax breaks? Is that fair? What do you think?
What about people who paid their loans, though, struggled to pay their loans, and now others don't have to?
So that was the voice of the gladiator, Peter Doocy, voicing reason into the president's mind, but he's going off on this whole thing about billionaire and these corporations getting tax breaks, and why shouldn't we get tax breaks? What? What does it have to do with putting the responsibility on the taxpayers to pay off somebody else's debt? What is this guy talking about? White House officials had been weighing again this move for months. Quote, it is unfair to people who paid their student loans or chose not to take out the loans in the first place, a reporter asked Biden. Can we just talk about what he said? Is it fair to people who, in fact, do not own multi-billion-dollar businesses to see one of these guys give them all the tax breaks? Is that fair? Biden snapped back. What do you think? If you don't like the tax code, Biden, your own party is in Congress. You guys roll all 3 branches of government. So if you're going to complain about the tax code, the guy that just wants to implement through his Inflation Reduction Act 87,000 IRS agents, then why don't you just remove the tax breaks? You could do it. Not him specifically, but you can have the government do it. You could sign off on it, Biden. But no, he wants to complain about it and say some weird ass thing about multi-billion-dollar businesses. Let me know in the comments. That's weird, right? We're talking about student loan debt forgiveness, of which somebody made, again, the decision to take out the loan themselves. And you're going to correlate that in some way, shape, or form. I don't even know how you get a rough analogy out of that, of correlating it to multi-billion-dollar businesses. You get a tax break if you're paying off your student loans, a 1098E form. So you get a tax break for it. It's an adjustment. Honest to God, this really baffled me, and I don't know why I should be baffled, because it's Joe Biden, and the guy probably didn't even know where he was going after this meeting or who the hell was talking to him. But this is literally what we're dealing with now. So you have the Brookings Institute says it's probably going to cause inflation. It's not really going to do everything they say it's going to do. You have the Wharton School of Economics saying the same thing from Pennsylvania. Literally his own left-winging people that support him say that's probably going to cause inflation. Some of them are even going as far as we just said that it's going to increase demand. So this is what's going on from the Biden administration. I didn't think it was going to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but now it's happening here. So now we're stuck with the Biden administration pushing this whole agenda. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.